With the design task of creating a perfect all-mountain board, I believe we cracked the nut. Hi guys, I'm Peter Bauer. I'm the founder of Amplid Snowboards. The Singular series have two boards, the Singular Twin and the Singular as a directional version. What we got here is the Singular Twin. The Singular Twin is really a true twin, symmetrical in the sense of shape, but also the core profile. And the flex is absolutely identical in tip and in tail. So here we got the Singular, which is the directional version of the Singular Twin, if you want. The nose is definitely longer than the tail, which is a lot more stubby. Also, the tail radius is more abrupt than the smooth nose radius. Directional has a couple mil taper, which means that the tail is actually narrower than the nose, which helps the nose flotation because you can sink in the tail when it's tapered, and the nose is coming out a lot better for the deep days. All Singulars, regardless whether it's twin or directional, have a sintered base. We are having here what we call visco-damped, a thermopolyurethane. There's channels milled in, and they're filled up with this thermopolyurethane. And what it does is, when the board chatters, it's pretty much like shearing of the two laminates. And the milled-in TPU is pretty much connecting the two laminates. And when the board wants to chatter and to shear, it pretty much holds it back and restabilizes the chatter. So when it starts in the nose, that it actually doesn't arrive until your front foot. It gets you to a speed range where you can still feel comfortable. And you have this shifting point where suddenly the board wants to ride you and you are not riding the board anymore. With this visco-damp, you always feel comfy and you are controlling the board, and this is one of the secrets which we have here. In the binding area, in the lower laminate here, we have what we call pontoon beams, which is like thicker strings going from edge to edge in a 60-degree direction, and it's they're placed denser under the binding and loosening up again. And these carbon rovings make sure that the board under the binding is not bending in that way. We spend a lot of R&D to find out what the board is doing when you deflex it, what the board is doing when you want to test the torsional flex, but we don't really, until now, put a lot of attention to what the board is actually doing under the binding. And with those rovings, you're pretty much stabilizing the two edges. And when you change edge, whatever is happening under your foot, under your binding, it's a lot more direct. So you can feel the edge a lot quicker and it feels a lot more solid. While we're using a normal biax glass fiber for the twin version to make it really forgiving and really smooth, this is a little bit more responsive because we're using a quadrax glass weaving, which means we have longitudinal and in 0-degree direction glass fibers, but also in 45 we have a few fibers, which gives the board additional torsional rigidity and makes the board a little bit more solid at higher speed, or it just gives you more edge support and more of an explosive turn exit.